As I've mentioned, we're celebrating and talking about all things music this week on Edmonton AM. And as we know, the live music scene has been deeply affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. So to start out our week of discussions about the local music scene, I'm joined by hip-hop artist Arlo Maverick. Good morning, Arlo.
Good morning.
So what first went through your mind when everything started to change back in March?
What's next? Not realizing when this was going to return back to normal.
Yeah. Now, was that did that put a wrench into anything you were already working on creatively at the time?
Yes, we actually were supposed to be in Europe for a month-long tour in May, and so everything pretty much shut down with that. And then obviously not being able to interact with people also affected performances here as well too.
Yeah. Now, what did that look like for you as an artist? You're supposed to go to Europe. I mean, there's a lot of planning that goes into doing a month-long tour in Europe. How did that really affect things for you as a musician?
What's interesting is that I was just out there in January, just setting things up, doing a few shows out there, trying to line things up because we've been out in Europe for the last, this would have been our fourth spring being out there. And so there was a lot of planning, as you said, grants were written, all that stuff, and contacts made, events set up, and so on and so forth. And then all of a sudden, everything went out the window.
Yeah. Let's talk some good news now. I mean, you recently took part in Fringe's virtual wine tent. You also performed at the Al Fresco on 4th Series downtown. What was that like after months to finally get back to performing live?
It was weird. I could say I was definitely rusty. Some of the band members were rusty as well too, but it was a good feeling to actually get in front of an audience of people, albeit very small. But it was nice because it was one of those things where I think that's something that we took for granted. Human interaction, just being able to perform in front of an audience, and so being able to go out there and perform music and actually just get that energy and get that reaction was really nice.
Right. I noticed on your social media too, you mentioned that it was the first time back with your band since late 2019 for the Fringe appearance. How did that all come together? How did that feel to get everybody back together?
It felt really good. Murray gave us a shout and said, hey, would you guys be interested? And I'm like, yes. And so I put the call out to everybody and said, hey, guys, here's an opportunity, so on and so forth. And because of the fact that they made it possible for us to be in an environment where we were able to still play but still be safe and abide by the rules, it was really cool. And it's one of those things where, again, you take these things for granted, but being able to be up there and performing, and then the reaction from people who have seen it since has been really cool because they're just like, hey, that's so awesome that you guys were able to perform, you know?
Mm-hmm. It really does seem to me like there's a real sense of community within the hip-hop scene here. I mean, within the whole music scene, but especially within the hip-hop scene, you work with a number of different artists from time to time to time. What does that mean to you to see that real synergy, that real community?
I think it's important still because I think that there are so many opportunities that we can create for each other. I think that there's so much knowledge we can share with each other. And I think that as moving as a city or as a team or as a community, then you end up fostering great relationships that extend beyond music. You end up having people who were once just a fan or someone who was just an artist become family members who you build with. And I think that's important for us to be able to put Edmonton on the map. In order for us to get to there, then we can't see it as it just being a business. We have to see it as this is a community that we're trying to create.
Earlier in the show, we played your new song that you just released a couple weeks ago called Black Every Day. I wanted to ask what drove you to express yourself about Black issues, about race, about racism through this latest single.
It's something that has been in my music from the time of Politic Live, just talking on current issues and whatever is plaguing human beings or whatever is going on in the current state. And so with that song there in particular, I felt that we were forgetting what was what kind of made the world stop and made the world say, hey, something needs to change. At the time of the Blackout Tuesday, everyone was on lockdown, and all of a sudden we had this opportunity to come out, and the George Floyd situation had people upset, the Breonna Taylor situation had people upset. But I feel that as things began to open up more, we forgot all about that moment. So I wanted to bring people back and allow people to realize that for some, it was a situation of, okay, I'm able to move on from that. But for others, it was a situation of, I'm Black every single day. So these are issues that still plague us. But at the same time, though, also putting some positivity in there in the sense of acknowledging the fact that there are great things that people who are Black have contributed to the world as well, too.
How have people been reacting to the song over the last couple of weeks since you've had it out?
It's been positive. It's been really positive, and especially from people from the Black community, just saying that it feels like an anthem and saying that it's something that has been positive, because the unfortunate thing is that while there's a lot of great hip-hop out there, we hear more about the negative stuff. And so for something like this to come out that is timely and something that also just kind of allows for there to be positivity and not something that's attacking or negative, it's more so in the sense of just giving a song of empowerment, especially when it comes to children as well, too, for them to see themselves in the sense of saying, hey, like, Black is beautiful, you know?
Mm-hmm. You teamed up with another local vocalist. She had some beautiful sound to the track, Stephanie French. What was the recording experience like? Especially, we're still in this pandemic, so how did that all go down?
It was real cool still. It was my first time actually working with Stephanie. We worked on a project, 5 Artists 1 Love, before things shut down, but never in the context of, okay, here we are working together on one particular song or anything like that. So who produced the track, we were looking for an artist to sing the chorus, and he's like, hey, I think Stephanie would be great for it. So we were able to bring her into his little studio space. But yeah, it was interesting because you're still trying to find a way to socially distance at the same time, communicating to the person that, okay, this is what we need, so on and so forth. But Stephanie sealed the deal and made it just so soulful, and it's she just has power vocals. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Where do you think Edmonton's live music scene will go from here during this continued time of physical distancing?
I think it's really hard to say, because as we head into winter, right now you're seeing the pop-up shows, obviously Downtown Live, and we recently did a cul-de-sac performance, and so we're finding ways to navigate that. But as we move into winter, I think it's going to be very difficult for us to actually hold things outside, so then we'll have to move inside. But then with that, we obviously have to abide by policies and make sure people stay safe. But I really hope that we could figure out a way to bring music to people over possibly 6 months of winter,
Absolutely. Hey, Arlo, thanks so much for your time this morning. Appreciate it.
No, thank you. Thank you.
All right, take care. Arlo Maverick is a local hip hop artist. His latest single, Black Every Day, is out now.